What's going on, Geminites? GemMint here with today's new comic book day reviews. It's Wednesday, December 2nd. You know how we do it. We're going to do this spoiler-free. But wait, we have a little bit of a problem. My shop didn't get their DC books. For whatever reason, I only have Marvel and some independent titles. And the DC books are going to come in tomorrow. So I might do a part 2 or just like a DC version of this maybe later today or tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Also, I won't have a pick of the week because I wait to see what the DC books are doing. I want to read Endless Winter. And before we jump into it, hit that subscribe button. We are on the final stretch to our road to 100,000 subscribers. And I have a bunch of giveaway prizes secured. So stay tuned to the end. I'll tell you all about the giveaway stuff. Oh, and also, by the time this airs, my first exclusive variant through Dynamite Comics should be live right now. The campaign on Indiegogo. I'll talk more about that at the end as well. Links in the description. Let's jump into the reviews. First up is from Aftershock Comics. We got Knock 'em Dead issue 1. This is by Elliot Rahal and Mattia Monaco. Yo, I was digging this issue. It really gave me Dying is Easy vibes, which I think was on, I think it was IDW. But it's only that like that in the sense that it's dealing with stand-up comedians. This one is about this kid. He lives with his sister. He wants to be a stand-up comic. He kind of, goes to his first open mic, doesn't get any laughs, whatever. He tries a couple of other open mic places, all crickets, and eventually he gets like a laugh, right? Then he meets this guy, and that's kind of where the end of the book happens, but where the story really starts. I learned so much just seeing the synopsis for issue 2. It's basically going to be a traumatic event happens to this character, and when he pulls through, he had found a way to become a successful stand-up comic. I'm digging it. I like the art style. It was dark. It was gritty. It was entertaining. It was visually pleasing. I felt like it had a lot of pastel colors, like a lot of pinks and purples and teals and turquoises. But I really enjoyed this issue. All right, then from Vault Comics, I've been reading Heavy issue 3. This is by Max Bemis, Eric Donovan, Chris Peter, and Taylor Esposito. So this book, man, has so many layers. I really enjoyed this one. So many layers. You're dealing with the afterlife. You're dealing with these heavies, which are basically tasked to clean up the multiverse and assassinate people in multiple timelines. Then you put these two guys together that have a past. That one guy kind of actually, assaulted the other guy's wife in the living, and they're put on these missions together. So it's a lot going on. Such a big book. Not in the sense that it's long. It's just big, and I really enjoy it. I think the art style is great. It has a very zany but violent art style to it, and I'm definitely enjoying Heavy. Last up from the indies, we have Firepower by Robert Kirkman. This is Image Skybound with Chris Samney. I'm digging this issue. I feel like we're kind of moving along a little bit. I think the first 4 or 5 issues were kind of like, all right, we get it. Now we get our man, I forget what his name is. It looks like Len Wein, but it's really, I think it's the other way around. It's like Wen Lean. Anyway, we're starting to find out what happened since Owen left the temple, since he left his dojo, and what happened with these characters who seemingly turned his back on him. Then we're hearing rumors that they might have gone to the other side. We find all that out, action-packed. Even though there were some big revelations, it still feels like a lot didn't happen. It's really like one conversation and then it was done. But I'm definitely digging Firepower, and I'm happy to see we're moving a little bit more forward in the story. The art on this book reminds me of like The Walking Dead, but colored. It has that same kind of vibe to it. All right, so now we're on to Marvel. We have Hellions, issue 7 by Wells, Segovia, and Curiel. This is the first issue post Ten of Swords. I'm not going to give any Ten of Swords spoilers. This is dealing with the direct aftermath of that. The Hellions team, none of them were picked to be in the tournament, so they were kind of doing their own thing. Sinister, doing some sinister type things at the end of the Ten of Swords chapter that they were in. So this picks up from there. I don't really want to say too much that'll spoil it. But we're dealing with resurrection protocols, people dying in Araco, people dying in Otherworld. Some people come back normal, some people not so normal. And they're basically tasked on this kind of throwaway mission to find the nanny's ship or whatever. It wasn't a big revelation type issue. It was just okay. Sinister's dialogue is awesome. I love how they portray Sinister in these modern X-Men books. And the art style was great too, man. It really popped off the page. All right, now Daredevil 25, Chip Zdarsky, Chichetto, and Menyes. Yo, amazing issue. Daredevil in jail, getting visits from Elektra. The artist on this killed it, especially Elektra. She just looked like her hair was alive, and she would just walk into a room or into a prison cell, and she just looked like she was moving on the page. So we find out why Elektra helped Daredevil, even though she double-crossed Daredevil. And then at the end, you find out why she helped him. It's crazy, man. But Daredevil's trying to serve a 2-year bid. Elektra needs him to take down the Hand. Basically, she tells about her and Stick finding this book that tells the origins of the Hand and how to defeat them. They're older than we thought, this and that. And somebody takes up the mantle of Daredevil in the streets since my man's locked up. So, excellent issue. I really enjoyed this one. Then we got Thor issue 10, Donny Cates. Big week for Donny Cates. Nick Klein on the art, Matt Wilson. This is Prey issue 2, Donald Blake. Yo, this was a great issue. I like the storyline. I like Donny Cates digging into past Thor lore and modernizing it and making it relevant to today. And I really like the explanation of where Thor is in this book, which ties into a book we'll talk about in a little bit. But Donald Blake, he has all Thor's memories. He had a lifetime to train as Thor. He's a force to be reckoned with. He's on Earth. He's no longer in this fake little world that Odin created where he would go when he would hit that cane on the floor and turn into Thor. Very interesting concepts here. Love the art style. Great book. All right, guys. Then we have this Knull issue 1. This is a Marvel Masterworks, kind of like soft comic book trade paperback. Marvel Tales. I'm sorry. So this basically just collects Venom 3, 4, Web of Venom, Carnage Reborn 1, and Venom 25. For $8, you're basically getting a quick catch-up on the origins of Knull and leading into King in Black. So I reread it. It was good to kind of brush up on that whole where was Knull being held captive, what's going on with the symbiote race, and all that stuff. Amazing. I'm not even going to put it down. Amazing cover by N Lee. Awesome. If you already have these issues collected in other forms, you might want to skip this. But if you want to know a little bit more about Knull before you jump into this big book, King in Black, issue 1, you might want to pick up that little trade. Anyway, Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman, Mayer, and Martin. This is what his whole Venom run has been leading up to, man. And I think they really delivered. Explosive issue. It was huge. The panels and the artwork felt like you were watching a movie. That's the best way I could describe it. You have double page things happening, big artwork, big Venom, and Knull is here. Knull is here. His symbiote army of dragons is here. And Eddie Brock, he tapped the Avengers to try to help him. And as the cover suggests, I love how they bring in the X-Men and kind of tie everything together. It feels like a big event. I can kind of tell the tie-ins are all going to be, what's happening on Earth to those characters in those books. So it might be one of those ones where you don't need every tie-in, more than likely. I'm still probably going to, give them all a shot and see how they start off. But, yeah, Knull is powerful as hell. I feel like the setup is so easy, though, that Dylan Brock's going to be the key to everything. And it feels a little obvious, I'm sure, to everyone who's been reading the Venom run. But it's fun. I enjoyed it. I feel like it lived up to the hype. Big scene from a surprise kind of reinforcement character. I'm not going to get into spoilers, obviously. But I think everyone's going to enjoy it. I don't think you're going to hear a lot of negativity about it. So that's the pretty quick pick of the weeks for today, guys. Look for another video maybe this evening or maybe tomorrow. I'll do the DC books and I'll give you guys my pick of the week. But like I mentioned, you want to subscribe to the channel. We are 2,000 subscribers away from 100K, and I've already secured a bunch of prizes. I've secured a Cheap Graphic Novels gift card, secured a Thor Ragnarok diorama from Figurama, which is a big statue, not Thor from Marvel, but Thor from like lore. Secured a life-size nano gauntlet from Hot Toys that Sideshow's sending over. A 1/3 scale Rambo from PCS Collectibles. And I'm working with a couple other companies too. XM, Iron Studios. We haven't really figured out what the gift will be, but we're going to do a huge multi-prize giveaway for 100K. Also, hit the description below for the Indiegogo campaign. My first ever exclusive variant cover, Vampirella holding a gem, Ken Hessner. We're going to have Nick Barucci from Dynamite on a live show with me, maybe later this evening, maybe tomorrow, to kick off the campaign. So we're going to pick his brain. We're going to see some of his 1992 Marvel Masterpiece original artwork. How dope is that? Support your boy. We got the regular covers, the Virgin covers, the black and white, the CGC 9.8, the CGC 9.8 Signature Series options. And this is just the beginning, man. If this goes well, it can open the doors to a lot of other things for your boy. So hit that Indiegogo. If it's not live yet, you can still RSVP. If it's live, please back the project. And check out my other new comic book day reviews on the playlist here to the right. And I'll probably put another playlist so you can get lost in the sauce. Stay minty fresh. Peace out.